of the SEC slate is upon us. The Bulldogs of Georgia cruise into College Station with back-to-back series wins in SEC play, while Texas A&M returns home after giving the #1 team in the country all it could handle last weekend. It's a top 15 tussle in Texas to terminate a tie in the SEC standings. And with that, we welcome you high above Davis Diamond, Giovanni Heater, alongside Tori Vidalis with you. And Tori, we have a monumental series here this weekend in Texas between A&M and Georgia.
Yeah, these two teams are very similar on paper. Actually, talking to the coaches before, they said you could probably switch the jerseys and nobody would notice because of how similar these offenses are. So it's going to be the first team to make an adjustment. It's going to walk away with a win today.
You talk about that mirror image. Let's take a look at some of those offensive numbers between the Dogs and the Aggies.
Yeah, every single category is so similar. Offensively, you know, they've got the pop in the middle of the lineup. They've got the speed at the top of the lineup. So really today it's going to be important to make the strike zone yours and know what that umpire is calling behind the plate so you can maximize your opportunities.
Taking a look at the Bulldogs lineup, how could you not talk about Sarah Gordon and all she's been able to do to captivate a lot of offense for Georgia?
Yeah, she's having a really special year. I always think back to her home run in the SEC tournament and how big of a moment that was for her. Coach Baldwin said she really just needed one season to really settle in and give her an opportunity to see what the SEC is like, and that's exactly what she was able to do last year, and that's why she's having such a great season now.
And the rest of this Bulldogs crew will face 7 in white inside the circle for Texas A&M. It's Sydney Lessentine.
Yeah, Lessentine, just the tried and true ace for this A&M squad. You're going to see her more than one time in a weekend, and you know that. And so for me, it's about how can you show up differently each day. Lessentine, she's got a ton of different pitches that she can beat you with. But it's always interesting to see the chess match that she plays. Which pitch is she going to really try to dominate the lineup with? And will she change it mid-game or will she change it from outing to outing? She's got a little bit of leeway when it comes to pitching sequences.
Each of these teams come into today at 6-3 in conference play. The first pitch fouled back.
We talked about those different pitches that Lessentine can throw. Going to mostly stick to that curve rise ball. When that changeup is on, that is when you see people start to swing and miss because of how much spin and the location when she keeps it low in the zone and tunneling it with this drop ball that she's developed this year and using more often makes it really tough for a hitter to pick up what's going to be a strike and what's going to fall out of the zone.
Lessentine, no stranger to big moments throughout all of last season. This is high and away, and the count even at a ball and a strike for Kirsten Roos. One of the marquee hitters in this Georgia lineup. Takes the 1-1 inside, and the count moves to 2-1.
Now, Roos not a traditional leadoff, you know, a speedy slapper type hitter. Talking to Coach Baldwin, he said we wanted to put our most complete hitter up there to really set the tone for this offense.
Taps this one to the left side. KK Dement is there and puts it away for out number 1. Hey, you talked about it, Tori. You go power right off the top, right? Roos leads the team in home runs with 11 on the season. One gone for the Bulldogs here, top of the first in College Station. Number 11 versus number 15. A strike finds the outer half against Jaden Goodwin. Tori, Goodwin, a player that you'd love to have aboard if you're the Bulldogs because of what she offers on the base paths. Even a miss behind 0-2.
Yeah, she's got a lot of speed, but also a lot of pop. I mean, last year she led in doubles, triples, home runs, so you know she's got the pop. Always nice to have someone speedy in that 2 spot for your cleanup. 3 and 4, try to get her around.
Laces this one left side. KK Dement makes another play. 2 gone.
Got a good piece of that one from Lessentine on the outer half, just tries to shoot it into that gap, but KK Dement in the perfect spot. talk so much about these offenses, how similar they are. I'm so curious to know what those scouting reports look like in terms of defense. Will we see a lot of shifts? Or are they just going to play straight up, make them earn it?
Sarah Gordon, another tremendous hitter for the Bulldogs. A 1 offering. This is downstairs, count even at a ball and a strike. We mentioned it in the open, Tori. These are two teams mirroring each other very well. Offensively, that's their strength. Inside the circle, that's where they leave a little bit to desire. The top part of the lineup for Georgia, in a lot of ways, jumps off the page.
You're right, in a lot of ways it does. But I think it comes down to having really competitive hitters at the top instead of a prototype of a top of a lineup. It doesn't always work best for every single team to have, you know, speed, table setter, and then big hitter. Sometimes you just need to toss all your big hitters in there, see if they can make something happen, and that's exactly what Georgia does.
Second best batting average in the SEC in the right-handed batter's box with Gordon. She evens it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Also second on the team for Georgia with 8 home runs on the campaign. 2-2 deal. Wave and a miss, struck her out. Lessentine sits him down a 1-2-3 in the top of the first.
Lessentine getting things going early here, pulling the string, sits her down. Aggies hitting next.
Cleanup hitter Michaela Wark, National Player of the Week, went 9 for 12, 3 home runs against the #1 team in the country last weekend.
Yeah, she was on an absolute tear against Texas last weekend. We talked so much about needing to step up behind Maya Perez, and Michaela Wark was the one that we said needed to step up, and she showed you exactly what she was capable of versus Texas.
Kennedy Powell leads things off for Texas A&M here in the bottom of the first. Pitch misses outside to get it going, 1-0. Presley Harrison inside the circle, a true freshman for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Harrison, she's going to throw in the upper 60s, can touch 70. That rise-drop combination has really been her go-to. Will spread the zone vertically. Coach Baldwin said she is just a workhorse for this staff. And honestly, when I watch her pitch, her ball, she can make that ball dance. And whenever I see that from a pitcher, I know that their spin rate is incredibly high, which causes that late break. And being a right-hand pitcher, that rise ball and screw ball look so similar out of the hand. A lot of times pitchers will use those interchangeably because of the way that if you mess up one small technique mechanic, they can turn into the exact same pitch. Screw ball in the outer half. It's going to be important for these left-handed hitters to determine what's going to get called a strike on the outer half versus what is too far off and she's trying to get me to swing at.
Powell doing a nice job to stay alive here in the at-bat. And KP, everything you could possibly ask for in a leadoff hitter, right? The Texas native, she's led the Aggies in each SEC series so far this year, plating 7 runs at LSU, 4 against Kentucky, and another 4 last weekend against Texas in Austin.
And she truly is the engine for this team. If she goes, they go. She finds her way on, she's going to find her way across.
And she gets the payoff pitch deposited into left center field. She wants 2, and she's in there with a stand-up double.
Powell is so tough to get out because of the tools that she possesses. She can drop a bunt, but oh yeah, she can also swing it at a rise ball at the letters and stay on plane and drive it into the gap for a leadoff double. Again, if she goes, A&M goes, and this is a good sign for the Aggies. They're trying to make a big inning happen here early.
Talon Edwards, another player that offensively seems to have turned it up a notch here in SEC play.
Yeah, I think a lot of that too is finding your footing, understanding, you know, the routines of game day and personalities on game day. It's her being at a new school, there's a lot of new things happening. So as she kind of eases her way into season, kind of seen those ups and downs. She really has come into her own these last few series. I think her and Michaela Warwick, both transfers from Oklahoma State, are big pieces of this lineup because without them, you feel the whole.
1-1 deal. Pops it up. Just out of the infield. And there to make the catch, coming in from center, is Ray. One gone runner in scoring position for Texas A&M in the bottom of the first. And now Maya Perez digs in from the left-handed batter's box. The story on Maya Perez has been early on in SEC play after she absolutely lit it up. Nobody wanted to pitch to her. Now all of a sudden teams are sort of forced to pitch to her because of how dangerous the rest of the lineup is. That's what she can do. Flies it out to left, foul ground, just over the fence. She will stay alive, 1-1. Against LSU, was unconscious in the first 2 games of the series, so much so that they said we're not even going to throw her a strike in that last game of the series. The next weekend against Kentucky, didn't see many strikes the first 2 games. Takes Hyatt in 2-1. And then Michaela Warwick, following her up in the cleanup spot, made Kentucky pay. They had to throw to Maya Perez, and because of that, Texas last weekend said, look, we got to go at you.
And I think it was a great decision, right? You can only be so hot for so long, but the key is controlling that. If you're Maya Perez, right, you know you're really hot, you know you can hit anything, but just because you can doesn't mean you should. So understanding that they are going to try to give you pitches that look good until they're not, and they want you to get yourself out. So being able to get back down to that equilibrium of, okay, I'm finding a pitch in my zone, but I know I can hit hard.
Pops this one up left side of the infield. Digby backs up to make the catch. And 2 with a runner in scoring position for A&M.
Yeah, 2 sky-high fly balls. I think that tells Michaela Warwick a ton of information as she steps into the box. You know Harrison is going to go to that rise and screw combination, which likely is going to get a lot of pop flies. So if you're Michaela Wark, you have to get into the box and think down through this ball and not make the same mistake that Maya Perez and Talon Edwards just made before you.
Huge moment here in the first inning, Tori. 2 gone. Runner standing on second for the Aggies. What does this conversation look like? First inside the circle for the Bulldogs.
Well, I think understanding that Michaela Wark is Texas A&M's hottest hitter right now, and knowing like, hey, we got to be a little bit careful with her. One swing can put 2 up on the board really quickly. But along with the pitching conversation, you see JT D'Amico run out there, talk to his defense. Team that's second in fielding percentage in the SEC.
First pitch to Michaela Wark snares the inside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. Another Oklahoma State transfer for Texas A&M. Leads the team with 51 RBI. That's good for 10th nationally. Trying to drive in number 52 right here.
And my rule of thumb was always 1 RBI per game. And she's well past that at this point in the season.
This one off the hand, shallow center field. Ray makes the catch on a jog, and it's out number 3. Kennedy Powell with the leadoff double, nothing to show for it. Aggies sat down in 4, scoreless in College Station. Here in College Station, we got a top 15 tussle. Number 11 Georgia and 15th ranked Texas A&M from Davis Diamond. And we take a look at Tricia Ford, 4th-year head coach for Texas A&M, the 3rd fastest coach to guide a new program to number 1 in the ESPN poll era. That was last season. Tricia really building a program that's built to last here in College Station, Tori.
Yeah, I think success leaves clues, and everywhere she's been, you've seen that success follow. I think it's a huge compliment to her and her staff, knowing that wherever she goes, she's gonna, 1, find the talent, 2, develop the talent, and 3, also develop them as young women.
And everybody on the Texas A&M coaching staff, personnel staff as well, up here in the press box wearing blue. That is for National Autism Awareness Day today. 1-0 pitch on the way. Called a strike, bottom of the zone, evens it up at 1-1. And it means a little extra for this A&M program, right, Tori?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Morgan, their director of player operations, I believe it's called, DOPS is what we call him. Her nephew was diagnosed with autism, and so it's very special to her and a cause that the whole team kind of jumped behind. I thought it was really special. They're even wearing the rubber bands. with all the logos, autism awareness. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, they hooked us up with the wristbands up here in the booth. Coach Ford talked about, they call her Mo, right? They said that Mo, her nephew, is her entire world. And so this one means a lot to this Aggies softball team, as it does to so many across the country, of course. Ball, 2 strikes for Tyler Ellison. The pitch. Left side, KK, one hopper, off to first in time, and there's one away. KK's been busy.
Yeah, getting a lot of work here early. Lessentine doing a good job at keeping these Georgia hitters off balance with that changeup here early. Saw the strikeout with Gordon. Ellison chasing that one as well for a weak ground ball.
Marissa Miller flares one off the hands. KK Dement once again. She's had a hand in 4 of the 5 putouts thus far.
You know, if I was on the team, I'd be calling her ball hog right about now. It's always one player, it seems like, per game always gets so many balls, and you just got to give them a hard time if you're on their team. Like, hey, let everybody else play.
And you and I have talked about all year how impressive she's been defensively for this Aggies team. As the freshman, Navikis looks at a ball downstairs, the count 1-0. KK Dement, just a sophomore at shortstop for Texas A&M. That's not even the position she played last year. And now she's been so strong. We've talked about possibly gold gloves in her future.
Absolutely. I mean, she grew up a shortstop, was recruited a shortstop. Last year, of course, she had Coco Woolley, who was an All-American at shortstop. So it's very tough to, you know, find your way in there. But Coach Ford said she is the shortstop of the future.
Vickus fouls one off, and the count now moves to 1-2. When you talk about forcing your hand, Navikis has done just that as a freshman, earning a ton of at-bats, playing at first base as well. That doesn't happen unless you're ready for the moments. Two-two deal. Count worked full, 3-2.
It's a good hold there. Lessentine tried to go outside with that changeup, get her to chase, and then up in the zone to try to get her eyes to follow. Navikis staying patient.
Payoff pitch. And foul. Lessentine with a strikeout to end the first inning. Looking to do the same in back-to-back frames. This top 15 tilt. Payoff pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. 2 in the books. 6 up, 6 down for Sydney Lessentine and the 15th ranked Aggies. We're scoreless in College Station. the second on a beautiful night for softball here in College Station, Texas. Number 11, Georgia. 15th ranked Texas A&M, and Tony Baldwin, the head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs, took over in June of 2021. He's made the tournament every single year as the head honcho at Athens.
Yeah, been around this program a long time. Was the assistant to this program under Lou for a long time. Gets his opportunity to be the head honcho, like you said, but I love getting to talk to him. He's very open, but also I like the way he talks about the game. You can tell he's very, he almost gives me like dad vibes, but in a coach, which is so great. I think it's so important when you have someone you can look to help you develop the game, but also have a good relationship with as well.
From everybody you talk to across the sport, they'll tell you how much they love Tony, right? Love talking to him. They just feel like he's one of the good ones, right, in the sport. Kowalewski, line drive up the middle, through for a base hit.
Kowalewski learning from her teammates. Talked about the at-bats last inning from Edwards, Perez, and Work all flew out. AK, as they call her, got right into the box and made sure to get on top of that ball. Shoots it right back up the middle. That's a phenomenal adjustment early in this game.
Here's KK Dement, Texas A&M. Takes a pitch down and in. It trickles away. Kowalewski stays put at first. The count 1-0 with no damage.
That's a missed opportunity there for Texas A&M to get a runner in scoring position with no outs. Have to be able to capitalize on those pass balls. See Coach Russ Heffley kind of talking through that pass ball, talking about her body positioning, where she needs to be to get a good lead off.
Two hits so far for Texas A&M. Had Kennedy Powell in scoring position. This one laced left side. It gets past Linda Muth. First and second for Texas A&M.
Dement just getting those hips open and driving this ball. This one was a hot shot off the barrel. Right past the glove of Linda Muth. Pretty locked down over there at third base this season. But A&M quickly starting to make things happen here in the second.
First and second, nobody out, bottom two. Now Mathis fouls off a bunt. Count 0-1. Tori, how about the emergence of Kelsey Mathis? She started 24 games this year, including the last 16 of them at center field. And during that span, she's averaged a .395 batting average at the dish, .581 slugging, 500 on base. Even a miss, falls behind 0-2.
Yeah, she's been crucial for this team. And honestly, I think back to last year when towards the end of the season, Vrajel wasn't as hot as she had been at the beginning. They were trying to give other people opportunities, and Mathis was one of those that came up big in a lot of situations and kind of earned that spot. And so you fast forward to this season, wasn't in the starting lineup on opening day, but again, takes advantage of her opportunities. She's young, but the maturity that just took right there, getting down 0-2, calling a self-timeout to go talk to Jeff Harger down at third base. Trying to slow herself down, try to keep herself in the AB. It's hard, you get down in the count really easily. It's so easy to just like have negative thought process or have your thoughts speed up. So that's big time for a sophomore to be able to call timeout, say, hey, wait, I need to refocus. I need to call time. I need a few more seconds. And because of that pitch clock, you have to call timeout. So it's a little piece of the puzzle, right? When you talk about putting together a good softball team, it's people who understand the situation.
Put our heads together at a better time.
enters this game on a 7-game hitting streak. 17 total hits in the span where she's started 16 straight games in center field. Big opportunity here, the 1-2. Straight away center field. Ray underneath it, makes the catch, no tag. There's one gone.
I'll be back in Oregon on Monday, but I'll be super tired.
And it sets it up for the left fielder, Paisley Allen, former Georgia Bulldog, stepping into the batter's box for Texas A&M in her first year with the program.
Yeah, I'm sure it feels like a big series for her. We've seen that a lot this season. Teams facing their former, or players facing their former teams, just happening to meet up in conference play. I mean, what can you expect? SEC, people want to stay in the SEC because of how challenging it is as a player, how competitive it is.
I'm not heavy into the South.
So becoming more common, seeing your former team.
I know, let's splatter a wall with Doug Schwager.
Ball at a strike with one gone for Allen.
You do. I'm sure you do. That's right.
Takes high, 2-1. Paisley Allen has been tremendous defensively this season for Texas A&M.
What time it,
A wall scaler in the outfield.
morning? Afternoon?
Pops this one up, back behind home plate. Trying to make the catch is Miller, unable to do so. Collided with Matt Dial, the home plate umpire. Nevertheless, he's part of the field of play.
Yeah, the ball goes up and you see Miller trying to track it, has her hand out almost like she's feeling for the wall, but she's got to feel for the blue.
2-2 pitch. Shallow right center, and Ray is there once again. It's another defender that's been busy so far, and now 2 gone, nobody moves.
Now Ray, SEC Player of the Week. She had a big week last week at Kentucky. Usually see her in right field, so she's getting a start today in center field.
A little bit of lineup manipulation.
Another conversation here. 2 runners on for Texas A&M. I feel like we might see this a lot with Georgia and Texas A&M in these tight situations because of how evenly matched these teams are in terms of pitching, in terms of offensive comparison. So these moments, you have to really make sure you're executing. When I think about this series, it's going to be the team that minimizes the big inning, right? You can't have a crooked number up on the scoreboard and expect to walk away with the win.
First pitch, the 9-hole hitter Frankie Fragile called a strike at the bottom of the zone, and it's 0-1. Fragile's been everything you could want out of the bottom of the order hitter if you're Texas A&M. The 0-1. Called a strikeout or half. Quickly 0-2. He's got to feel really good if you're the freshman inside the circle right now, right? You give up 2 quick base runners on back-to-back hits, and now you're shutting it down a little bit here ahead 0-2. Tapper left side, gloved by Lindemuth, and there's out number 3. Aggies leave 2 stranded. We're still scoreless. Rolling to the top of the 3rd in Bryan College Station.
all in one place. Visit activate.espn.com to see if you have ESPN Unlimited as part of your TV package for no additional cost. It's all of ESPN all in one place. Sign up or activate now.
And we welcome you back to Bryant College Station, Texas, a top 15 tilt, number 11 Georgia, and 15th ranked Texas A&M. 3 hits for the Aggies. We are still scoreless as we roll on to the top of the third. Giovanni Heater alongside Tori Vidalis with you. And Tori, it's been the opportunities there for Texas A&M. They've stranded 2 runners in scoring position at second base. Georgia still trying to get the offense rolling.
Yeah, 2 huge opportunities missed by Texas A&M. You had a leadoff double in the first, couldn't get her around, and 2 singles back-to-back to lead off the inning. Just a lot of unproductive outs so far for Texas A&M. Harrison doing a great job at making them chase in the upper half. Lessentine on the flip side is just making it work. Routine outs, 2 Ks already through 2.
0-1 deal to Ray. This is high and away, and the count even at a ball and a strike. Ellie Ray, a .457 hitter on the year. 20 RBI, 3 home runs. The 1-1. This is just off the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Sydney Lessentine has been dialed so far inside the circle. She offers 2-1. This is below the zone, 3 balls and a strike.
Beautiful changeup. It's a great spot, trying to hit that lower half of the zone. How about this timeout from Kowalewski behind the plate? And realizes she doesn't get that call. She's in a 3-1 count. Just kind of stops the momentum a little bit, allows Lessentine just have a quick break, refocus, try to go right at Ray.
Lessentine fires, 3-1. Swing and a miss. Got her to chase high, 3-2.
You know, even though that changeup didn't get called for a strike, it changed the levels of Ray's eyes in the box. She saw the bottom half of the zone. It didn't get called, but I think it could have been, depending on just what inning it is. But then goes immediately back up to that rise ball and gets a whiff through the zone. Because that rise ball looks good out of the hand, makes it so enticing for a hitter to want to just take a daddy hack at it. But with the spin that Lessentine has, able to just get that late break on it, spin under the barrel of Ray.
Payoff pitch on the way. Flared foul. And this is turning into a great at-bat. We expect a lot of these this weekend. 2 teams that pride themselves on really battling inside the batter's box. Both coaches put an emphasis on that throughout the week. Payoff again. This is downstairs, it's ball 4. That's a tremendous walk worked by the senior.
Yeah, that's a gritty AB. And you know Ray's seeing the ball well, coming off of a SEC Player of the Week. She just looks dialed at the plate. And Lessentine, only her 12th walk on the season. Not someone that gives up a ton of walks, so you have to make this count if you're Georgia.
Digby lays down a bunt, scooped up Powell, throw to first in time. Moves the runner to second. Sacrifice bunt. Digby retired, 1 gone. It's not an easy play by KP coming from the hot corner. She came a long way.
A long way, and great communication as well, because it was a well-struck bunt, and I could have seen Lessentine picking that up, making that play, no problem, but I could hear Kennedy Powell from up in the booth calling that ball, telling her to get out of the way, which is smart. She's got the better angle.
Lindemuth looks at a strike bottom of the zone. 9-hole hitter playing third for the Georgia Bulldogs. Former Texas Tech Red Raider. The 0-1. Gets it off the hands, up the middle. KK Dement makes the pinch. It's out number 2.
was just going to bring up how Georgia gets their first out, and it's a productive out. And then Lindemuth flies out a lazy pop fly. I think the advancement opportunities are going to be huge for both of these teams tonight. Again, another timeout. Talked about that last inning. These tight situations with runners in scoring position, 2 outs, trying to get out of an inning without allowing that timely hit, making sure cross your T's, dot your I's. They've likely already talked about all of these matchups they're going to face. It's just kind of a nice reminder to go out there, and a little bit of encouragement as well. Like, hey, keep the ball down, keep it on the corners. You got this, let's go.
But it really does feel like one of those weekends. And in the SEC, every weekend is important. Anybody can beat anybody in this conference, but it really does feel like one of those weekends, the way these two teams mirror each other, the way that they're smack dab, tied for 5th in the SEC standings. This is kind of a hinge series, right? The season can go one of 2 ways, depending on if you can take 2 or even 3 this weekend if you're A&M or Georgia. So every little minuscule moment feels like it's magnified in a series like this. Top of the order, Kirsten Roos looks at a strikeout or half, and the count 0-1. Team leader in long balls with 11 bombs on the year. An impressive 28 ribbies on top of it. 0-1 deal. Georgia with its first runner in scoring position today. Still hitless. 1-1 offering. Tapper to the right side. There's Edwards. Short throw to first in time to end the inning. Lessentine surrenders the walk, leaves the runner stranded, still scoreless in College Station. Bottom of the 3rd inning here in College Station. Number 11 Georgia and 15th ranked Texas A&M. Giovanni Heater alongside Tori Vidalis with you, and we are joined by head coach of the Bulldogs in his 5th season at the helm, Tony Baldwin. Coach, really appreciate you taking the time.
My pleasure.
Coach, wanted to ask you, you have 2 teams that in the box score statistically mirror each other very, very well. Coming into this weekend, what do you think is the differentiator between Texas A&M and your Bulldogs?
You know, I think it's going to come down to, controlling the strike zone on both sides of the ball, who makes better adjustments, and then just competing and making plays. They have a really good team. I think we have a good team. And, when you have 2 teams going at it like that, then it comes down to a couple big hits, a couple plays, a pitch here or there. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, talking about big pitches, your freshman in the circle, Presley Harrison, getting out of 2 innings there. Aggies get runners on base. What did you like seeing her compete in those last 2 innings?
Yeah, just trusting her stuff and making the pitches. And, she got some pop-ups there, which is what we need her to do. And, with this win, that's a scary proposition. But I'm I'm thankful that she got them on their hands enough so they couldn't go anywhere. We'll see how much longer we can go with her, and as long as she keeps controlling the ball, we'll be all right.
Coach, really appreciate you taking the time. Best of luck throughout the weekend.
Thank you very much. Go Dogs.
All right, that is Tony Baldwin of the Georgia Bulldogs. Bottom of the third inning here in College Station. We got a deadlock at zeros on the scoreboard between 11th ranked Georgia and 15th ranked Texas A&M in a monumental SEC series here in week 5, Tori.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting listening to Coach Baldwin talk about Harrison. We know she throws that up ball, and I talked about it earlier in the game of you have to make sure you're getting the corners with that rise ball. Kennedy Powell strikes one well there, but what he mentioned was she's got to be able to keep it in on the hands, on the corners. So it's definitely something I'm keeping my eye on is how can she get inside on those hitters, try to make them miss their barrel, because it's a very fine margin between missing that barrel and a home run over the 220 sign in center.
There's Talon Edwards. Pitch misses high, and the count 1-0 for the Oklahoma State transfer. Edwards 0 for 1. Popped out to very shallow center field in front of the Aggies logo. Finds herself ahead, 2 balls, no strikes. Huge year for Talon. She's talked about time and time again how she's savoring every moment. Last year of eligibility, the college ranks. Former Poke at Oklahoma State. Says she's an Aggie for life, though. Won a Gold Glove at third base while she was at Oklahoma State. So selfless to make the move to second defensively.
Yeah, it's a tall task, switching from third base, left side of the field, moving over to the right side of the field at second base. The angles are just so different on the other side of the field. You essentially have to relearn how to read angles, read hops, read spin, but has settled in nicely at second base.
Hard chopper right side, in and out of the backhand of Navikas. Edwards makes it happen.
Yeah, Talon Edwards just rolls over to this ball. Novikas, great range to get there, but I think she pulled her eyes just a little bit trying to go step on the base before she fielded that. Gotta love Roos coming behind, though, and filling that bag. Almost had a throw, an opportunity to have a throw there.
This one cranked out into right center field, rolling to the wall. Talon Edwards on her horse around third. Throw to the plate, gets away, and the Aggies are in front, 1-0.
Makes the adjustment first is going to see a lot of success. Maya Perez gets a ball down in the zone and really over the heart of the plate and just crushes it to right center field. Edwards got a great jump on this ball, kind of died at the base of the wall. But Edwards first to third, right after the error, making that count. The last two, oh, of course, they rolled it as a single. That was an error. That was an error on the first baseman, and that error directly leads to a run for Texas A&M. That is what you talk about, taking advantage of the opportunities that you're given. Maya Perez does just that.
Ward adding on to it. Scolds one up the middle. Perez is in. 2-0 Texas A&M.
Here comes the crooked number for Texas A&M. The first one is big, but the second one is even bigger. With how similar these teams are, every run is going to be important, especially as you get later in the game. But A&M jumps on Harrison quickly.
And immediately, the Bulldogs decide to make a pitching change in the circle. 2-0 Texas, A&M in front. Perez and Wark make them pay. Pitcher inside the circle for 11th ranked Georgia, Ada Little, another freshman, towing the rubber for the Bulldogs, Tori.
Yeah, almost the complete opposite of Harrison. Little's coming from the left-hand side and going to be heavy down in the zone. So trying to make the A&M hitters adjust.
Ariel Kowalewski is in. Looks at a pitch outside to start the count at 1-0. Kowalewski, such an impactful performer inside the batter's box and defensively as well. 1-0.
Now Little coming from that left-hand side. She's going to be able to throw the curve ball and the drop ball to both sides. Try to offset some timing with the changeup. I like this mix here, trying to keep A&M in the ballpark, keep things in the lower half of the zone.
Last outing came against Kentucky last weekend. Went an inning. Didn't surrender any hits. Just one walk. Had a strikeout as well. The 2-1. This is high and away. 3 balls and a strike. So just one appearance last weekend, and it was a short stint for an inning of work. Longest she's gone so far this year is 3 2/3. That came twice against Georgia State and Samford. Count full 3-2. Payoff pitch. Taken inside, ball 4.
It's a pretty pitch on the inner half, little backdoor curve. But you know, as we talk about these pitchers that have started the game and then come in with Ada Little, makes you wonder why we didn't see Randy Rolling tonight, Georgia's ace. She's got the most innings by far, 77 innings pitched. The next closest is Addison Fisher with 47. You have to think it's some type of matchup. A lot of coaches are big into the matchup game. Who is going to perform well, like performance metrics or pitcher profiles, movement profiles versus what a hitter's spray chart might be, who they're predicted to start.
Possibly a double play, and there it is. Lindemuth with the heads-up double off. And that ends the inning. Georgia didn't even know it. How about Lindemuth, Tori?
Yeah, how about a little 5 unassisted, throwing it over there. Strong arm gets Georgia out of a big inning.
for Texas A&M. They lead it 2-0 over 11th-ranked Georgia here in College Station. Crowd on hand tonight at Davis Diamond. Campus is buzzing. We got baseball going on, a top 25 tilt out there across the street as they host Vanderbilt. It's the best time of year here in Bryan College Station. And the blue blossoms, or the blue, what are they called?
Blue bonnets.
Blue bonnets in full bloom, Tori.
There we go. Yeah, he's new to Texas. We'll give him a break.
I know I'm going to have an earful for that one. Here's Jaden Goodwin. Squares up a bunt, charging ahead Lessentine. Not in time, and it pulled Maya Perez off the bag as well.
Classic situation of speed putting pressure on a defense. Goodwin lays down a beautiful bunt. Lessentine just had to rush herself, doesn't get a good throw.
Hit or error, Tori?
I'm gonna say hit.
KK Dement trying to double it off, and she does. Does it herself.
And the difference between these two innings is A&M immediately shut it down, taking the momentum away. KK Dement with the on the run throw. That's big time to cut the runner off of the base and also get 2 outs at the same time. You love to see that, especially after Georgia trying to respond after the inning, the big bottom of the third.
Wave and a miss for Tyler Ellison, 0-1. There are some shortstops in Diamond Sports that just stand out a little bit. They are fun to watch play defense. KK Dement is every bit of that. Right to KK again, diving snatch. Not in time. Ellison legs it out for a hit.
It would have been too perfect if it worked out that way, right? I mean, but I agree with you. I think she's got such an instinct for this game. She gets a great first step here. I think the one difference, and you've heard me say this a couple of times, is throw that ball into the ground. Give Maya Perez at first base a long hop. The ball travels a lot faster on the ground, and when you're in a shortstop, when there's a quick play or maybe you're deep in the hole, the ball is going to travel faster to first base, and it's going to be a lot easier to get it there because you're throwing it down and not trying to airmail it.
Marissa Miller takes a ball outside, 1-0. Bulldogs still trying to get the offense going. 2 hits today, both of them coming in this 4th inning. Neither one has gotten out of the infield. 3 total base runners thus far. A walk worked to lead off by Ray in the 3rd. She was stranded in scoring position at 2nd. .2-0 offering. Falls in the zone for a strike with the off-speed, 2-1. What have you liked out of Lessentine thus far?
I love the way she's mixing in her changeup. She doesn't throw it too often to where somebody can sit on it, but just enough to keep their eyes moving through the zone, a little bit off balance. It's like she almost uses it to counteract her other pitches. We've seen her go a lot from changeup to a rise ball up in the zone, getting hitters to chase. That last pitch, she goes out with a curveball, trying to, I would assume, get her on her toes, reaching.
3-1 deal.
And then bust her back inside. Classic sequencing there. Slow her down, get her leaning, and then bust her in. And now she's got options here. Now you don't know what to expect if you're a hitter. Does she go back to the changeup? Does she try to get you to chase out of the zone and go rise?
From the belt, payoff pitch. Left side, off the glove of KK Dement. First and second for the Bulldogs. Do they have some 2-out magic?
Keep moving them.
Georgia trying to make something happen after that double play. Ellison singled to shortstop, and now Miller wants her turn. It's getting interesting. Georgia's got a chance here.
They give that one an error against KK Dement. The freshman, Gabby Navikis. First pitch. Below the zone, 1-0. And now a conversation here between the battery. Ariel Kowalewski and Sydney Lessentine. Kowalewski came in and stole that position behind the plate defensively and refuses to give it up.
Yeah, Kowalewski didn't start in the catching position, started out in right field. A little bit of lineup manipulation happens throughout the tournament season. She's found a nice, comfortable spot back there behind the plate. Her teammates really enjoy her being back there. As a catcher, you command that infield, but also I think it's interesting, she's still only a sophomore, but learning about how she speaks with the pitchers, right? What kind of information is she giving the pitchers in these tight situations?
2-1. Called a strikeout or half, 2-2.
And it's important as a catcher to be able to communicate with your pitchers what you see. You may not know everything mechanically, but hey, maybe your arm's coming out a little bit wider than it normally does, or your ball's not breaking as much on this pitch. They see so much behind the plate. They watch so many pitches come by. They're in the bullpens with the pitchers. They understand what it's like when they're on versus maybe when they don't have their best stuff. And AK has done a great job at settling her pitchers when they're in tight situations, but also feeding them that information that they need to move forward.
Payoff pitch, fouled off. Kowalewski in a big spot here behind the plates. Patiently awaiting arguably one of the biggest pitches of the game to this point. Georgia trailing 2 runs with first and second, 2 gone, and a full count for the freshman. Payoff again. Rings her up on the outside corner for strike 3. 3 Ks in the books for Sydney Lessentine. She strands 2. What a deal.
Georgia trying to make a push, but Lessentine paints the corner, and another K, her 3rd on the night.
Zip as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning in College Station. Giovanni Heater alongside Tori Vitalis with you. And we are joined by head coach of the Aggies, Tricia Ford, in her 4th season at the helm. Coach, everybody on your staff, it's wearing blue today, right? And it means something a little bit extra to your program, National Autism Awareness Day. Wanted to give you the platform to talk about that a little bit.
Oh yeah, I think it's just a great day to celebrate those that are in that arena, that are supporting it, and also the families connected to it. So I know my family's connected to it, and we have quite a few people on our staff that have, people connected to it. So it means a lot to us.
We love to see the support. Coach,
Yes.
I want to ask about Ariel Kowalewski behind the plate. As someone who is a pitching mind, can you speak to how valuable it is to have a catcher behind the dish who's going to give really crucial information to a pitcher in a game like this?
Yeah, I mean, I think she's doing a great job. Sid's talking about, she's coming out there and just giving her some information about what the umpire is saying about where she's missing and kind of what her fingers look like at release. So, she's key. She's key to a pitcher's success. All catchers are.
Coach, we really appreciate you so much. Best of luck the rest of the weekend.
All right, thanks so much. Gig 'em.
That is Tricia Ford, head coach of Texas A&M. Her team with a 2-0 lead heading into the home half of the fourth. Tori looking to capitalize, maybe add some more here.
Yeah, you definitely need and want to add some more every inning. I feel like no team is safe in the SEC. Doesn't matter what the lead it looks like, especially a team like Georgia who is so potent offensively and can have those crooked innings as well. You need to score as many as you can.
I would argue that there is no better bat in the lineup to have up right now as it sits at this point in the season than 99 in white, Kelsey Mathis. 0 for 1 tonight, enters today though on a 7-game hitting streak, and she is red hot.
Yeah, red hot, and I mean, she hits over 500 as the leadoff hitter. That's exactly right. You want somebody who's gonna be able to take this and kind of become a second leadoff hitter, try to work themselves on.
Cranks it off the mitt of Lindemuth, and she still makes the play for out number 1.
They're getting some good action over there tonight. Lindemuth at third base, some hot shots, ground balls. She's seen a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Nothing's been easy, but she's made it look just that.
And that's the sign of a good defender. Right, makes it look smooth, just like we were talking about KK DeMint. I think Lindemuth is a fun one to watch over there at third base.
Paisley Allen looks at a strike top of the zone, former Georgia Bulldog. On a team last year for Georgia that made it to the NCAA tournament. 0-1. Even a miss behind 0-2. And it was an interesting season for Georgia as a whole, right? Because of the way the schedule is built, so many wins over top 25 teams, but didn't fare as strong as they're used to in SEC play.
Yeah, last season they didn't win a single SEC series, but they were able to keep themselves alive by not getting swept. And that's, I think, the most important. You can take the L and lose your series, but then it kind of became this mountain that they had to climb. Continuously losing series, but also I think it speaks a lot to their fight and their grit to not get swept during any series during the year. It's a very mental game, especially in the gauntlet of a season in the SEC, and just knowing the competition that you have, knowing you're not playing your best, but you're expected to go face the number 1, number 2, number 3 team in the country.
1-2 deal. Allen takes high and in, 2-2. The Bulldogs have made the NCAA tournament in each of the first 4 years under head coach Tony Baldwin, who had been on the staff for 9 previous seasons. This Bulldogs crew has been to 3 straight super regionals. That's a testament too, right? You don't win an SEC series and yet you're playing in a super. That just goes to show how much of a gauntlet this conference is in itself.
And we talked about that on the call with Coach Baldwin. Are you playing with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder? And he said, no. This team has an identity of their own. And he said, as a coach, like, you have to try to not put that pressure of last year's team onto this year's team. You know, they played Arkansas to open the SEC slate, and they lost that series. And he had to take a moment to realize this is not last year's team. Last year's team did not lose this series. This year's team lost the series. So you almost change the narrative in your head.
Allen, line drive to left and backing up to make the catch. Goodwin for out number 2.
You know, something that I go back to, what Coach Baldwin was saying when he's talking about his team. He said, This team is a completely different team than last year. They have really taken on the identity of the newcomers and the transfers. He said they really like to giggle. They go to Seven Brew and they like to giggle.
Yes.
Which, if you've ever been on a softball team, especially one that sees success a lot of the times, it's just like so nonchalant. It's so fun. The energy just clicks. It's easy. Not to say that there aren't hard times, but it's something about that chemistry and the ability to be almost childlike in the way that you approach the game. It makes it a lot looser, more relaxed. You have more fun, and you know what else is fun? Winning.
Yeah, winning is very good. It solves a lot, right? Ball and a strike for pitch. Tapper to the right side. The tag is made, and it's out number 3. 2-0, A&M stays in front, but they're put away 1-2-3 in the 4th. Top of the 5th inning in College Station, 2-0, 15th ranked Texas A&M leads it over 11th ranked Georgia. Bulldogs back up to bat, looking to get the bats going, and you take a look at their offensive improvement from last year to this year. What a stark contrast, Tori.
Yeah, it's really amazing what they've been able to do in 1 year and really turn this around. But for me, I think about Georgia, and in the past, whenever I was a player, even prior to that, they've always been known as an offensive-heavy team. He said if you don't score 10 runs, you can't say anything about the pitching or the defense, which is so true. I played against Georgia, and I expected those big bats to come alive. But he said, you know, last year, he said word for word, I'm going to take the accountability. I tried to do some new things, thinking it would make us better, and really it just got us out of our routine, made us feel uncomfortable, and by the time we tried to switch it back, it was already too late.
Here's Natalie Ray to lead it off. Last year's SEC Player of the Week. Senior out of Covington, Georgia. A 1 deal to Ray. Even a miss, 0-2. Lessentine with 3 strikeouts through 4 innings tonight. Has been dialed in, surrendering just 2 hits and a walk. Winds and fires the 0-2. Tapped back and Ray stays alive. Natalie Ray was that lone walk. It came in the 3rd. Left at second. 0-2 pitch. High and away, 1-2. Georgia has stranded 2 runners in scoring position today, both at second base, 3 total left on. 1-2 to Ray. Just off the plate, deuces wild for Natalie Ray.
Yeah, Lessentine trying to climb that ladder in the 0-2, seeing if she can get Ray to chase. And brings it back down, seeing if she can get maybe a piece of that corner, just a little bit too far out.
2-2 down and away, and the count worked full. We have seen a lot of full counts tonight, and both coaches told us that that would be on display this weekend. These are two teams not only that mirror each other, but elongate at-bats and absolutely battle in the box. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strikeout number 4 for Sydney Lessentine, and it's 1 gone in the 5th.
Lessentine just seems to get better throughout this game. This time goes upstairs, gets Ray to chase. It's always impressive when you can get a hitter that's hot, like SEC Player of the Week hot, to swing through pitches because you know that they're seeing the ball well. And it speaks a lot to the movement and the placement of those pitches.
Digby slices one foul to the net, 0-1. 8-hole hitting shortstop for the Bulldogs. Grounded out to the hot corner, where Kennedy Powell waited in her first at-bat tonight. Lessentine's 0-1. Hit well, foul ground. It escapes over the fence, 0-2. You know, you look down the line book, Tori, and the Bulldogs just have not had many plate appearances tonight. How efficient Lessentine has been inside the circle. Oh, 2 pitch. Outside 1-2.
I'm just looking back at my scorebook, and really any situation that Lessentine got herself in, the defense was really able to help her out. I mean, the leadoff walk to Natalie Ray in the 3rd, immediately the sack bunt, so you get an out, and then 2 big plays by the defense. Really just making routine plays, but 1, Lessentine making the pitches, and then 2, your defense backing you up, because the following inning there was a leadoff hit by Jaden Goodwin, the bunt to Lessentine, and then immediately KK DeMint turns that double play up the middle. So a mixture of the defense coming through when you really need them, but also Sydney Lessentine making some really quality pitches when she needs them the most.
1-2 tapped foul. Digby stays alive. High and in, 2 balls and 2 strikes for Digby. She's hitting .390 on the season, but .383 against right-handed pitchers. And a short dialogue. The Aggies now have a circle visit with the infield converging. They're going to take a look at this.
The ruling on the field is not a hit by pitch. Georgia is challenging this call. This play is under further review.
Kind of a nonchalant challenge there.
Yeah,
from Tony Baldwin. We saw Digby kind of pull her hands back a little bit. Wasn't sure if it got her, but she immediately turns down to Coach Baldwin after that happened in real time and kind of like pointed to her hands. He slowly made his way over to the home plate umpire and was like, yeah, we'll challenge it. From the way it all happened, it looks like it was just a skim. So it's going to be hard to tell. Looking for the ball to change directions. Doesn't look like it to me.
And remember, there was no call on the field, so you need indisputable video evidence. And a rather quick review. Here's Brian Crochet.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. This will be Georgia's first challenge. They'll have one remaining.
There is no hit by pitch. The count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes for Emily Digby.
As you get later in the game, you're thinking, why not try it?
Right.
You only get 2. You can't take them with you to tomorrow's game, so might as well see if we can try to get a runner on with 1 out.
2-2 pitch. Tapper, right side. Edwards makes the play. And after the hullabaloo, a ground out to the right side for out number 2. Bobbled by Powell, and she can't make the pinch. So Lindemuth is aboard.
Frustrated. Kennedy Powell knows that that's a play that she can make. I actually think she jumped so high it hit like the heel of her pocket instead of the web. So it made it pop out just a little bit more. She's also not very tall. So the fact that she had to jump that high for the ball shows me, or tells me that that was really pounded into the ground and hit well. Got a twofer on that one. Russ Heffley talked to the outfielders a little bit there, made them run all the way in. I know the outfielders always talk about how far of a run it is. Trisha Ford talking to her infield and her pitcher.
Here's Kirsten Roos. Tying run at the dish, top of the 5th. First pitch. Taken high in the count 1-0. It's go time if you're Georgia. And you feel like with the bats you have up top of the order, you're not in a bad spot. You'd rather not have 2 outs. You have time to play here. Can Roos make something happen? 1-0. Tapper to the left side. Powell is there. Underhands to second. And it's in time for out number 3. They get the leading runner at second. They strand 1. And the Aggies stay in front. 2-0. them in front, and the damage done in the third inning, Tori.
Yeah, Maya Perez, the big bat in this Texas A&M lineup, coming through once again. And then how about Michaela Work, keeping her hot streak going, scoring Maya Perez. The only 2 runs we've seen cross the plate today are off the bats of Maya Perez and Michaela Work.
Kennedy Powell leads things off for A&M here in the home half of the 5th. The leadoff hitter tonight started the game with a double. She looks at a strike on the slap approach, bottom of the zone, 0-1. KP 1 for 2. Well struck, line out to left. Again, that double that got us going tonight. Such a weapon at the top of the order for Tricia Ford and the 15th ranked Aggies. 1-1. Squares up a bunt and it deflects off her own foot. Lost the lid and everything. And even she's laughing it off.
I feel like all of a sudden we were in a parody moment of the SEC. The bunt goes straight into her ankle. And you know this hurts, right? She gets around it, bunts it directly under her ankle. Helmet flies off. She doesn't realize the helmet flew off. And then she realizes my do-rag is on. And then she quickly puts the helmet on. 10 out of 10 cinematic experience.
All smiles out of Kennedy Powell.
Amazing. We all got a good laugh.
You got use out of your cough button.
Yeah, you don't want to hear the cackle on air. It was a good one.
Two. KP chopper to the left side, charging ahead Digby. A fire to first in time, 1 gone.
I think the fact that she could run to first base after bunting a ball into her ankle was the most impressive.
Yeah. She's still running gingerly into the dugout. There's Talon Edwards. Flex off the mitt of Miller, 1-0. Edwards 1 for 2 today, had the single in the third, did come around to score. Maya Perez RBI double. 1-0 pitch. Takes back-to-back pitches outside of the zone, 2-0. Tori, with how the defense has been playing, you feel good about the 2-run advantage of your Texas A&M. You always want to add more. Ranked foul, 2-1. But do you feel like you're in a good spot if you're Tricia Ford inside that dugout?
I think it's a yes and no. I think you're proud of what you've done, but you're not satisfied, and you know that anything can happen with one swing, especially when it's only 2. So a team that can make things happen. Speaking about Georgia, I think if you're A&M, you want to put as many insurance runs on the board as you can get. No number is too many.
Taken high, ball 4. 5-pitch walk for Talon Edwards. On base for the second time tonight.
And a little bit of deja vu from the last time Texas A&M scored. Talon Edwards found her way to first base, and Maya Perez came up with a huge double. We'll see if they can make it happen again. We talked about needing insurance runs. These are the bats you want up with opportunities to score. Maya Perez and Michaela Work to follow.
First pitch to Perez. Taken downstairs, 1-0. Had the big double. Second on the team in home runs with 13, hit 16 long balls a season ago. Was an All-American for Texas A&M last season. Has lived up to every piece of the billing so far this year, so much so that teams have pitched around her at times. Walks in 35 plate appearances for Maya Perez. Chops the 2-1 off her shin, 2-2.
Yeah, to give you a little bit of perspective, Maya has 31 walks on the season. The next closest is 25, Talon Edwards.
How about what she's done against ranked opponents? Slashing 436, 560, and 821. Every time the Aggies have faced a ranked opponent this year, she's played some of her best softball. 13 games against ranked foes heading into today. 4 home runs, 3 doubles, now make it 4. 9 walks, and 13 RBI. Lifts the payoff pitch foul, stays alive 3-2.
I think it's a perfect example of good hitters hit when the lights are the brightest. And Perez has been an example of that this year, last year. She's continued to do it, and every year she continues to get better. I mean, think back to her pinch hit opportunity back in 2024 at Texas.
Flares it off the hand, shallow right field. Gordon is there to make the catch, and there's 2 gone. A lot of soft contact. We've not seen much of the big blast. We had the double from Perez, and other than that, not a whole lot of solid contact. Rourke had the single up the middle. Talon Edwards got a good piece on her base hit. But it's a testament to these pitchers today for both teams, as it looks like the Bulldogs will make another change inside the circle.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Little did a great job of setting up Maya Perez there, going in, going out, forcing some weak contact. I think Georgia's going to change the game plan here, bring in Destin Howard.
2-0, Texas A&M in front with 2 gone in the 5th.
A golden ticket. Players that will be presented with a golden ticket have been drafted to one of the 4 inaugural teams of the inaugural season for the AUSL. And it's an honor for me to get to present this golden ticket to one of our very own Aggies. And Lady Kennedy.
I'm sitting next to an AUSL member right now in the booth. Portland Cascade, turn up.
That's right.
TV
that's
29,
right.
Tori Vidalis to my right. So exciting. So excited for you this upcoming season. And a new pitcher inside the circle for the Bulldogs, Destin Howard, senior out of Macon. They go veteran this time out of the pen after back-to-back freshmen got the night going.
Yeah, Howard is going to be your high velo pitcher. See the gun up there is 72 miles an hour. She's coming in bringing the heat. Likes to go to that drop ball. She'll go a drop and a screw, and then she'll mix in that change ever so slightly. But for me, for someone that doesn't have a changeup and throws it often, you have to be able to find the corners of the plate. When you start finding half of a ball, 3/4 of a ball on the plate, that's when those pitches get hit really hard. But Destin Howard, if she can clip those corners and maybe saw off some hands of these Aggie hitters, that's where she'll see her success. A lot of weak contact. But on the flip side, if A&M can get to a pitch, get their barrel extended, that ball will leave much faster than it came in.
And a pinch runner in now for Texas A&M. A pair of them, a matter of fact. Haley Golden at second in place of Talon Edwards. Piper White at first. There's Ariel Kowalewski. She looks at a strike.
Especially in this moment, Howard coming in, throwing a little bit harder. It's easy to let that adrenaline kind of fire you up and think you have to swing really hard. It's super critical for AK in the box to be slower, load a little bit earlier, stay smooth through it. Mentioned when a pitcher throws really hard, the ball exits the ballpark a lot faster because you allow the pitcher to provide that speed. You don't have to swing as hard as you can. You just got to stay smooth and find that barrel.
1-1 to AK. Flares it off the hands, making the catch. Digby, the shortstop, for out number 3. Aggies strand 2. They lead it 2-0. We head to the top of the 6th in College Station.
A professional softball league for the best of the best.
It's a traditional format with 6 total teams this year.
There's never been anything like it in terms of fan investment, donor investment, and honestly, athlete investment.
You get to watch your favorite college athletes go at it.
There's more to softball than just college. The AUSL is what you need to watch.
And a lot easier to watch with ESPN.
I'd have to agree with everything they said, Giovanni. AUSL, 6 teams this year. Got to give a shout out to my Cascade.
Portland Cascade sitting next to number 29 of the Portland Cascade, TV29, Tori Vidalis, former Aggie, now playing in the bigs.
Yeah, a cool opportunity. My GM, Jamie Loprice, who is an Aggie as well. Little Aggie ties, post-college. And if you're an even bigger Aggie fan, Amanda Scarborough is on those calls as well. Emily Kennedy, we saw her get the golden ticket. She's with the Bandits, the Chicago Bandits. So A lot of good company in the AUSL, a lot of talent, professional softball players. If you love college softball, you'll love professional softball even more.
It's awesome. Goodwin pops it up just out of the infield left side. KK Dement underneath it for the first out. And Tori, how have you seen the sport evolve to now have these opportunities at the professional level to make a career out of playing this sport?
Yeah, it's really been incredible to watch through my timeline of softball, but also the people that came before me, right? I was just talking about Jamie and Amanda, the class of '08. And, you know, the things that I got in my college career were much further ahead than what they received, even when you're talking about the SEC network in general. The SEC network wasn't a thing until my freshman year of college in 2015. So seeing it evolve, seeing the exposure evolve, ESPN getting games on the main network, ESPN2, you're seeing SEC matchups every single week. I think the demand for softball is there, so why not give it to the people that want to watch it the most? I mean, there's plenty of talent to go around. I think now you're seeing a difference is there's actually a viable league that players can commit to and compete in and feel like they're bringing their best competitive self to the field.
Special opportunity, special league. And again, you can find it right here on ESPN all season long. I'll miss doing games with you, though. I'll be rooting you on the field.
I know, you got to come to a game. You got to check it out,
I would
see
love
what
to
pro
make the trip.
softball's really about.
Where's the closest you guys will play to College Station during the regular season?
So there are teams in Oklahoma City, so the OKC Spark is one.
Not a far trip.
Volts are in Round Rock.
Okay.
Which is pretty close as well, near the Austin area.
Gordon takes high. Count worked full. Round Rock. I'm going to circle that one.
Yeah, Round
that might
Rock
be
will
the
be
move.
your best opportunity.
That might be the move.
Probably.
And Austin's a fun city, too. To, you know, venture into Austin a little bit. That could be the trip right there. Payoff pitch. Gordon staying alive here. Senior in the 3-hole. The Georgia Bulldogs trying to get this offense going, still scoreless. Been unable to capitalize on the few opportunities they've had with runners in scoring position. The payoff. Rings her up on the inner half, strike 3. 5 strikeouts for Sydney Lessentine. There's some players on this list right here. I'm looking at Nigerie Kennedy at the top. That's very familiar with the punch out.
Very familiar indeed. Pitcher of the year 2 times in a row. Cue the song. But also Reese Atwood, Sydney Stewart, some catchers getting some love as well. How about Leanne Good, second baseman for Texas, getting an opportunity? It's just really cool knowing too, like once you get that golden ticket, that's basically saying you've already been drafted. The draft has already been held. It'll be aired at a later date. So it's kind of just letting these players know, hey, someone drafted you. You got to tune in to figure out where. But what a cool opportunity for these college players around the country, seeing their dreams come true. I mean, really, you grow up and there's not as much discussion about being a professional, especially whenever I was younger. And now seeing these players get to actually hope and wish for that whenever their college career is over, what a big step.
Yeah, it's actually really cool to see it in person, right? The presentation of the golden ticket, it's very meaningful. Had the opportunity to see it in person just by happenstance when I was at Virginia Tech. Had 2 Hokies that got the golden ticket last year. It's a really cool moment.
Yeah, and we're just in. Carlin Pickens received a golden ticket tonight.
Wow.
So another solid arm added. I mean, how could you not? Carlin Pickens, 2-time SEC Pitcher of the Year.
Sure.
Set the fastest pitch ever thrown in softball, not just college softball, softball.
Period.
Period. Yep, that's
Period.
right.
I spent too much time.
You catch
with
on so fast.
I know. 2-2. Hammered foul by Ellison. At home run distance, no doubt about it.
And Tennessee also getting the win over South Carolina tonight, 3-1.
It's a big weekend across the conference. Got some good ones. Every weekend's a big weekend. Let's get real.
Just means more.
2-2 down and away, we're full. Can Ellison get them going? She has a base hit in the 4th. The designated player in the cleanup spot for the Dogs. Backs against the wall here in game 1. Payoff pitch. Just down and in, it's ball 4. What a take.
Great take. Also, great pitch by Lessentine. Keeps that changeup nice and low at the knees. Now that's a tough one to take with 2 strikes. But hey, works out in her favor. Also a risky take knowing that Lessentine doesn't walk that many batters. She's had 2 tonight. Only 13 on the season.
No, and that's such a strength of Texas A&M. The strikeout to walk ratio as a staff really does jump off the page. 7th nationally in strikeout to walk ratio. Also 11th nationally in whip. 18th in the country in K per 7. Lessentine, a huge part of that.
Big time. Lessentine has really done a great job this year at attacking the zone. And honestly, I think it comes down to developing that new pitch, the drop ball for her, and giving herself more options to go to, but also tunneling the changeup. Because you have a pitch that looks similar to that out of the hand, makes the decisions for hitters a lot harder to make. And also makes them a little bit more indecisive, right? Is it going to be the slow one? Is it going to be the fast one? You have to make decisions so quick that more oftentimes than not, they're swinging through pitches.
Here's Marissa Miller with a runner on and 2 gone. She's the tying run. Pitch misses outside, 1-0. Miller aboard with an error in the 4th. She also popped out to short. Six doubles on the season, 1 home run. Lifts it foul, even at a ball and a strike. Lessentine now at 92 pitches, Tori, 59 of them for strikes. We've seen some long at-bats.
Yeah, a lot of long at-bats, full counts. Only 2 walks, though, coming out successful on a lot of those full counts.
1-1. This is drilled high and deep to left, and it is indubitably a bomb. We are tied in College Station.
You have to know that Georgia will not go down without a fight. Tony Baldwin said gritty over pretty. Doesn't matter what it looks like, just matters that you get it done. Miller takes that rise ball. Lessentine is trying to get up and on the hands, but Miller, a phenomenal job at getting rotated and that barrel head out in front, launches that ball. Only her 2nd home run of the year, and what a big one as it ties up this game.
Brand new ball game in College Station.
It can change so quick, and I think you see that full count. You go back to the full count, not getting that pitch. Trisha Ford coming out, talking to her pitcher, saying, hey, we should have had that one, and then you blink and the score is tied.
Now the freshman in there with a 1-1 count. Gabby Novikis. One swing changes the entire complexion of the game. 1-1 deal. tie 2-1.
I think especially now that we're at a point in the game where you're starting to count outs, right? If you were A&M, you're thinking, all right, Georgia has 4 outs to work with. Not that we have it in the bag, but our odds are looking pretty good. If you lose focus, one pitch can make the difference. Now for A&M, it turns into, okay, now we have to make these at-bats count. They had a lot of wasted ABs early in the game. Not moving runners, lazy fly balls. So needing to really turn it up here late in the game.
And she sits her down on strikes. 6 Ks for Lessentine, but how about the big fly for Marissa Miller to tie us at 2?
Coming up huge with a bomb to tie up this game. Only her 2nd of the year. Marissa Miller gets it done for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Brand new ball game in College Station, even at 2 in this top 15 tilt between Georgia and Texas A&M. New pitcher inside the circle for the Bulldogs. This is the 4th arm of the night's Tori.
Yeah, Georgia really trying to put together a staff outing here. This time goes to Fisher after they're able to tie this ball game up.
First pitch to KK Dement, misses high. What can we look for in Fisher?
I mean, Fisher is a hard thrower and a ton of movement. She's got up to 14 inches of drop on her drop ball, and she can get up to the 70s, which is so impressive. You don't often see somebody who throws so hard have that much movement because the ball is just moving so fast. It doesn't have as much time to spin, but Fisher, she throws gas. And it's gonna really try to offset these A&M hitters. They like to lift the ball. They like to stay like gappers. But you have to really work your body to get underneath that drop ball and stay connected.
Now if you're A&M and you're on this offense, all of a sudden the pressure reapplied now in a tied game. How does the approach change, Tori? Or does it at all?
That is the question, right? Does it change, does it not?
KK Dement, well struck, but it's foul, about a foot.
I think no matter what, you come into the game knowing which pitchers are in, right? I took a look at, Maya Perez had left her scouting book on the table, and I just got to see what the scouting looked like, and you really do. They go through every single pitcher. They list what type of pitch it is, what their goal is, what sequence they like to throw in. There's so many variables that go into it, so it could be different from hitter to hitter, but likely they're keeping the same approach throughout the game, no matter if they have the lead or if they're working behind. The goal is always to stay balanced, get a good pitch, and find a barrel.
Payoff pitch fouled off. We'll do it again, 3-2. KK Dement in her freshman campaign came up big a handful of times down the home stretch of last season. She takes ball 4.
It's a huge leadoff walk. Dement working that count as well. 8-pitch at bat. Finds her way down first base.
This takes a pitch below the zone, the count 1-0. Enters today on a 7-game hitting streak, but 0 for 2 on the evening. Infield playing a hair in up the middle. She skews a bunt foul.
Mathis kind of looking down at her hand. You mentioned Fisher throws 70 miles an hour. That's no cakewalk to bunt, especially if you mishit it at all. Easily get that hand throbbing.
2 balls and a strike now for the Waco, Texas native. Just a sophomore, again, for the A&M program. It's earned her spot. There's another bunt foul, 2-2.
Yeah, Mathis needs to be able to take control of this at bat. You see her call time again here to give herself a little bit more time to be out of the box. Fisher has a very quick routine. Gets the balls already back on the rubber before Mathis was even in the box. So that's something that A&M hitters should keep their eye on. How is Fisher setting the pace in the circle? As a hitter, it's always fun to kind of mess their timing up. So as soon as they step on the rubber, you call time.
Payoff chopped off of her left ankle. I've seen that a handful of times tonight, too.
Got a little check. It's also a big-time brain move to give her a second to settle into the count. I feel like every pitch that's come, it's felt a little rushed.
Sure.
So I would assume that Mathis, her head is speeding up a little bit too, needs a second to kind of breathe.
Foul. Another long at bat. That storyline has played out throughout the evening. Both teams battling in the box. Fisher's payoff deal. Ball 4 once again. Back-to-back walks. First and second for A&M in a tie game.
You know, talking to Coach Baldwin, asking him, these teams look so similar. What is this going to come down to? And he really said containing the strike zone and force A&M to compete in the box. We want them to have 5 to 7 pitches per at-bat. They are too good. They make adjustments quickly. They have great discipline in the zone, and I think you see that from back-to-back at-bats by KK Dement and Kelsey Mathis. Working the counts full. KK had an 8-pitch at-bat. Kelsey had an 8-pitch at-bat. So they're seeing a ton of pitches. They're learning. They're taking in new information to give back to their teammates.
First pitch to Allen. This is high, and the count 1-0.
Yeah, and actually, Maddie Sowney was ready to hit for Paisley Allen after Kelsey Mathis worked that walk for herself. I think Coach Tricia Ford and Jeff Harger discussing who's the better option, knowing Paisley Allen is a great bunter and can get the ball down, decided to put her in last minute.
And
so
if somehow gets on, has terrific speed as well.
It's a great example of the chess match that goes on and owning your role. Maddie Sowney was ready to come in and hit, but they needed someone to bunt. So now the question becomes, can Paisley Allen get the job done?
How fitting, right? The former Bulldog with a huge opportunity here in the 6th. 2-1. Called a strike. She was laying down for that bunt. Evens it up 2-2.
It's tough to bunt a drop ball with that much break down in the zone. But can she move these runners?
Cranks and foul.
Execution in itself is such an umbrella term, right? Because true execution is getting it down the first strike, getting the ball on the ground. The next level of it would be doing it after attempting once, but now that Paisley Allen has done it twice, she still has the opportunity to execute, just may not be with the bunt.
2-2 taken high and away, and we're full again. Biggest pitch of the game to this point. First and second, nobody out. Payoff pitch. Allen chops it left side, could be 2, and it is. Twin killing for Lindemuth again.
A little bit of deja vu. Lindemuth at third base knows exactly what's happening before this ball comes to her. Fields it, steps on it, laser over to first base. The execution now comes on the defensive side, making a huge play when they need it the most. Following 2 back-to-back walks in this inning. You felt the momentum building for A&M. I think if Paisley Allen gets a hit right there, it kind of breaks this game wide open for A&M to take. But Georgia doing what they do best. The fielding percentage.
Came into today the best in the country. And now you will see Maddie Sowney in the 9-hole in place of Frankie Vrajel.
Yeah, I think stick with it, right? You had the thought, putting her in last time. Paisley Allen needed her to bunt, but now you need somebody to swing. Hopefully you're thinking Maddie Sowney can get in here, get a quality AB.
First pitch. Rolls it through the right side of the infield, the hit. Ballin' around third, Mathis, play at the plate, and it's not in time. Texas A&M reclaims the lead in the 6th.
The freshman for A&M stepping up in the biggest moment. A drop ball on the inner half. She does such a good job at keeping her hands inside this ball. Finds a way to get her barrel to it, opposite field. And the speed from Mathis is just too much for Georgia to handle. What a moment for the freshman. You talk about getting your opportunity. She was about to go in and then gets taken out saying, nope, we don't need you here. But being ready for when the team did need you, which just so happened to be the next hitter. And not only that, you come through in the clutch, give your team the lead in the late innings. That is a big moment for Maddie Sowney.
And they put Frankie Vrajel back in to run. She stands on second. What a moment for Maddie Sowney. Tori, you nailed it on the head. Kennedy Powell fouls one off, 1-1.
And also I go back to Maddie Sowney was the starting catcher on opening day. Loses her spot in the middle of the season or in the middle of preseason and still is able to show up. And you hear coaches talk so much about owning your role. It could be so easy to just kind of give up on things.
Just foul. 1-2.
It can be really easy to give up on things, and sticking to the process, staying true to the role, knowing that my time may not be now, but when it is now, I need to be ready. And if you're clocked out 3-4 weeks ago, that moment doesn't happen for Maddie Sowney.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got her to chase, and it ends the frame. But an RBI single for the freshman Maddie Sowney, and the Aggies reclaim the lead in the 6th. Has been sensational inside the circle for Texas A&M, who leads it 3-2.
Yeah, Lesson team really getting comfortable as this game went along, able to use a lot of different pitches in her arsenal. The rise, the changeup was magnificent today, really keeping it at the bottom half of that zone, but also moving the other pitches and able to tunnel them so well. I don't think you can say enough about Sydney Lessentine and what she brings to this A&M staff.
She's the ace. Here's Sydney Peters, who's now called upon to slam the door shut here in the 7th.
Yeah, Sydney Peters, a high spin rate type of pitcher. You're gonna see that ball jump. And her go-to is the rise ball. She can throw it on multiple different levels, and just like Lessentine, she's got a knee buckler of a changeup. You pair those two together, and it becomes really hard in the box to decide which pitch you want to take a hack at and which pitch you want to let go. Because she does have that rise ball that'll stay a little bit more straight to get you to freeze as a hitter.
Here's Natalie Ray. She looks at a strike going 1. We talk about Tori throughout the game. Okay, there's no better hitter to have at the plate right now. Well, you have the reigning SEC Player of the Week at the dish in this spot. She waves and misses and is behind 0-2. Three outs to play with if you're the Bulldogs in game 1. 0-2. Popped up, left side. Paisley Allen is in. And the former Bulldog makes the pinch for out number 1.
Big first out for Texas A&M. You lose the lead in the top of the 6th to a 2-run home run. Immediately respond in the bottom of the 6th. Get yourself a run, and now you record the first out of the inning. It's looking good for Texas A&M and Sydney Peters here in the circle.
Here's Emily Digby, first offering. This is low, 1-0. Sydney Peters, 79 strikeouts to 23 walks. A huge part as well of A&M being 7th in the country in strikeout to walk ratio. 1-0. In there for a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, her ball looks so deceptive. I'd love to honestly step in the box and see what it looks like from a hitter's perspective, but she's got so much spin on the ball, and sometimes those balls will jump up out of the zone, but sometimes they'll stay a little bit flatter.
1-1 in there for a strike, 1-2.
And then the changeup, I mean, on top of it. Peters has some really, really good stuff. I think we've just seen the beginning of what she's going to be able to do in her career. Didn't see her a lot last year because of an injury she was battling, so she's technically a junior on paper, but a sophomore in experience because she was sat out a lot of the year with an injury. Didn't get as many innings as she would have liked or as Coach Ford would have liked, but continues to settle as the season goes along.
1-2. Hit right side, Edwards to a knee, makes the play, 2 gone. Texas A&M went on the road last weekend and gave the #1 team in the country all it could handle.
It seems like there was a time violation on Peters.
So the pitch does not count.
So you see the pitch clock in the left hand of your screen, and it usually resets once the pitcher receives the ball from the catcher, so it should be going right about now, but wasn't able to reset it. I think there was just a little bit of miscommunication there, but the call stands.
Shallow flare, right field. Frankie Vrajel is there for out #2.
I almost feel like it's out #3 because you had to get one twice. But hey, gets the job done once again. 2 big outs for Texas A&M and a chance to take it all here.
Tori, going back to what I was saying, A&M went on the road and took #1 to the brink. Gave Texas all it could handle last weekend. This feels like taking the Friday game against the 11th ranked team in the country. You're trending exactly where you want to be headed.
Yeah, this is when you want to start putting your best ball games together. When the race starts getting tight, you have every top 25 win matters at this point. This one would be huge for A&M to walk away with tonight.
Peters deals 0-1. This is downstairs, count even at a ball and a strike. From the belt, 1-1 on the way. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Crowd on its feet. 1-2 deal. Lifted back, foul. Georgia down to its final strike here in game 1. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Pitch on the way. Foul.
Great location for that changeup. You know the adrenaline is pumping through Lindemuth's body right now, trying to stay settled. And it's easy to chase, especially when you got 2 strikes. You feel like you have to protect, but Peters throws that changeup down, gets a swing through.
1-2. Lifted back. How representative of the night, right?
Staying alive. Got to. That's your job as a hitter. 2 outs. You don't know what can happen with 2 outs, right? All it takes is 1 swing for Lindemuth to get on, another swing for Roos to score, so it's never over until it's over. You have to believe that as a hitter.
Peters fires. We'll do it again.
just continues to get a piece, right? It goes back to what Coach Baldwin was saying, gritty over pretty. It doesn't matter what it looks like. You're just trying to get the job done.
One, two. Deuces Wild, TV 29.
My two's working.
Two on the way. Popped up, left side, KK Dement makes the catch. Texas A&M downs the Dogs in game one.
What a team win. I think it started in the circle with Sydney Lessentine. Peters coming up and closing the door, but the offense responding after Georgia tied the ball game immediately. And how about a freshman pinch hit opportunity coming up big for Texas A&M? Maddie Sowney was supposed to pinch hit for Paisley Allen, then got taken out because she wasn't right for the situation. But when the situation called for her, Maddie Sowney answered the call. Pinch hit, RBI single through the right side, wins this one for Texas A&M.
I'll tell you what, if that was game one, we could be in for an awesome weekend here in College Station between 11th ranked Georgia and 15th ranked Texas A&M. For our entire crew behind the scenes, for Tori Vidalis, my partner, I'm Giovanni Heater saying so long and good night from College Station. 3-2, Texas A&M downs Georgia in game one.